Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. It was out of nowhere. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined by Kevin Bastos.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
We'll edit this all.
Middle of an exciting story. But
sorry, Mom.
Something about lighting a pilot light, but we'll come back to that later.
No, we won't.
No. Justin Pinto is here. Was not telling a story this time. Yeah, he's right there.
I didn't know.
And the Sea Otters. They're not really doing much. They were out just a minute ago spraying down.
Someone was hosing things off. Sea Otters were dancing around. They were having like a birthday celebration.
Wow.
Interesting that you knew that.
Cake. No,
This is
I'm just making.
there's,
I know, but that's
one of them.
Woo.
Yeah, there's a couple of them there.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost had a collision there. But anyway.
They're that good.
Wow. So how's everybody doing? Everybody excited for
Outstanding.
a great discussion? Let's talk about this past weekend.
Inside Media Tri-Week.
Yeah, nearly monthly.
Almost monthly.
So Terminator Dark Fate.
Semi-monthly?
Bi-monthly?
That'd be every other month. Yeah. We're a little more than
Is
it
it bi-monthly every other month? Or
Bi is
bi-monthly
every other.
twice a month?
Semis, twice.
Semi?
Semi-monthly's twice a month. Bi-weekly's every other week.
That reminds me of Coming to America. Semi?
Rates of pay. We're doing rates of pay and financial literacy, so
Got
we've
it.
been going through this a lot.
Got it.
By the way, Eddie Murphy's been spotted. Of course, they're shooting Coming to America 2.
Yes.
So there's been some photos.
In Pittsburgh?
Not in Pittsburgh.
Sons of guns.
Speaking of guns,
Terminator.
Terminator
Real
Dark
transition.
Fate.
Effective.
What is not doing well at all? It was number one this past weekend. $29 million. What?
You'd
problems?
think if they made a sequel to a movie that came out 35 years ago,
Yeah.
people would flock to it.
They'd go to
Well,
it.
there's been this is a sequel to a movie that just came out like 4 years ago.
Yes, but that
Kind
movie was
of.
kind of a dud.
But it also made more than this, I think, the first week.
No, this one made more.
But this
Did it?
This
Yes.
movie is following right behind T2, though, right? It's ignoring.
Yeah, it's like, forget that other stuff.
Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines? No.
I do want to see
Terminator
how
4? No. That other one? No.
Genesis?
Meh. I think there was another one besides Genesis. Wasn't there 3, 4?
They've done like this harvest of people. It's sort of like Halloween. They're like, well, Jamie Lee Curtis is dead. But she's not dead, and now she's dead. And we killed Jason. We didn't kill Jason. We didn't.
Well,
maybe.
Well, and
I'm curious of seeing it.
isn't this the 7th Terminator movie?
I don't know. I've lost track.
Well, is the Sarah Connor Chronicles that was on TV? Is that part of the canon too?
No,
Is
I
that
don't know. I didn't watch that.
Me neither.
so? You've got Terminator in '84. We had T2 Judgment Day in '91.
That's a kind of a long gap there.
The Rise of the Machines was
Rise
like
of the
in
Machines was
2000.
2003. Terminator
Holy
3.
cow.
The number 4, Salvation, was 2009. Genesis
That was a turd.
was 2015, and so Dark Fate is number 6.
I could have sworn there was another one.
call.
But
Good call.
I said 7. I thought there were 7
Six.
movies.
All right.
But there's also been 2 web series and a television
wow,
series.
So we're really like on 10.
So that's the problem is you've been giving people all this stuff, and then already
Erase that. Erase
They've
that.
been-
Can I have my money back? No. Until last year, they still had the Terminator Action Series stunt show at Universal.
No longer.
No, they canned it last year.
But as we look at the newly redesigned Box Office Mojo, which Mr. Pinto has a real problem with.
It looks clean.
love
It's
it.
a very nice look.
So for those that are big Box Office Mojo fans,
I am.
Were you? So Amazon, of course, bought IMDb back in 1998. I was double checking these things.
Yeah, that's a long
So
time.
in 98 they bought IMDb, and then IMDb bought Box Office Mojo in 2008. It's basically been completely hands off with this thing. I mean, there was a little bit of stuff you could log into, but so they've had this property for 11 years, and now all of a sudden they decided we're putting it behind a paywall, and we're gonna reorganize a lot of things. So, but
I don't mind the reorganization. It does look cleaner than it used to.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But when anything's different, it just is like you like the old thing better.
sure.
Remember the 4 times Facebook channel? You know.
I don't know. I've skipped that problem in my life. I just don't go on Facebook.
But they've taken away the budgets on the weekend gross page, so now
of guns.
and
Well, half of them are blank anyways a lot of the time.
bold
So
anymore. But as you see, Terminator Dark Fate, $29 million this past weekend.
I think its budget was over 150 million.
Yeah, I think it said 180. So it's going to be rough to
Yeah.
get that back.
It might not make 100.
Joker.
I would expect worldwide it does.
Oh, worldwide. I'm just talking domestically.
No, I don't think it's going to get 100. Probably like 75. Good day, 75.
But Joker's still cruising.
Only dropped
13
28%.
million. Yeah. 300 million, and then it's.
It is the biggest worldwide R-rated movie ever.
It's pretty impressive.
And
300 million is a lot of money.
And it just passed 900 million worldwide,
Worldwide, yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it can. It will not be number one domestically R-rated movie all time.
What is that?
Passion.
Was that
No.
310?
370.
Holy smokes.
But I think it had a re-release too. I think it had a re-release.
We had like 4 or 5, didn't it? It was like every Easter
I
season
don't
or
think
something.
I've actually
it came
seen
out.
that movie.
I don't think I have seen it.
I think we saw it in the theater.
But they
do
did make
own it,
$370 million
Yeah,
with
we said-
the theater release.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
$370 million in 2006.
I don't think I was going to see movies then.
Well, then they have the
I wasn't.
they have the
Well,
less
I was.
6-year-old.
I was. No, I was going to the movies.
and then they have the less violent cut. So they have on the DVD, so you can choose which one you want to watch. Violent, if you want pro-violent or not so violent.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna. I don't think Joker can catch the one Deadpool. The one Deadpool's pretty high too. I mean, it's still making good money, but I just don't see it making like for it to make another $40-50 million is going to be a lot of money.
13 this weekend is still a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
But now it is starting to get
And
to
the drops
saturation.
are but the drop still is only 30%.
Yeah, but there hasn't been really any big
Okay.
like. What are the big movies lately? Terminator, kind of a dud so
Nothing.
far. Maleficent, kind of a dud so far. Like a lot of the releases that are coming out aren't movies that would really
This coming
detract.
weekend is something.
Doctor Sleep.
Weekend is
Dr.
crazy.
Sleep.
There's like
There's
3 or
4
4 big.
movies.
There's 3 or 4 wide releases like the next 3 or 4 weeks in a
We'll
row.
get to shortly.
Oh, sorry.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's all good. And then Harriet, which was getting some Oscar buzz up front, didn't do so well. It made $12 million. I
heard
and
negative
they
things
said the
about it.
reviews are kind of muddy. Not super big. And of course, Addams Family's still hanging in there as well. And Zombieland Double Tap.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's been making. I mean, for a movie that's post Halloween to make $8.5 million.
Yeah. And then Arctic Dogs, total tank.
Arctic Dogs,
$3
not
million.
snow dogs or sled dogs or
No,
What I didn't
But
realize-
this is a cartoon. Arctic Dogs is a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's like the one article I read compared it to like Ugly Dolls, like a third tier animation movie that like people. It's not like Disney. It's not Pixar. It's not even like Kung Fu
It's
Panda.
Entertainment
Like,
Studio Motion Pictures. And the problem was,
I
too,
mean, I didn't even see a commercial for it.
apparently they never got a review out to, preview out for any of the reviewers.
Oh, that's usually
just like-
death on a stick there.
So there's no word of
no
mouth.
advertising and no reviews. Good
Yeah.
job. Good
Do you want
job.
to go to the movies? Well, maybe there'll be an animated film. Maybe there'll be an animated movie for us to see. Well, let's
That's
just
going
go.
against Adam's Family too.
Maybe Adam's Family would be sold out, and they'll have to come to us.
And we got John.
Good idea.
And John Cena's coming out this weekend, which we'll talk about shortly.
I've seen the
all the kids are
previews
gonna
for
go.
that.
All the kids are going to go to that anyway. So
John Cena
there's a
pays for a
few-
big house. And I think that's the title of that movie. John Cena gets paid. Is the name of that movie.
So biggest story yet of the year. I just enjoyed this. I don't know why I enjoyed the title of this story. 9 to 5 reboots canceled, and it's not because Jane Fonda keeps getting arrested.
Nothing to do with it at all. Nope. Totally separate.
So apparently it wasn't really in production. People keep asking Dolly Parton over and over and over again.
But I
Yes.
have seen 9 to 5.
Yes.
Wow.
And I don't think it's like a bad movie.
It's funny.
I just don't see it clamoring for a reboot or a remake of
I
it.
just got lost. What happens to them next?
I just don't
Remember
see.
that Office? The one from 1981.
Can't say I
I'm
recall.
sure they're still working.
Does it seem like
No.
it just doesn't seem like the movie we need right now?
38 years later.
However, Dolly Parton did say that she, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin may do something together that isn't 9 to 5. So
See, now that might be more like a new idea.
Well, it was,
Because all the people who
10
love
to
numbers.
6.
remember Fish Called Wanda?
Yes.
It was a great film. And
The
then they
sequel?
It was not a sequel. They all got together and did Fierce Creatures
Yes.
afterward, which I thought was pretty dang funny. It just was a disaster. Did not do well.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
yes.
First movie comes out. Second movie, was it a 38-year wait, or was it
No.
close?
It's like 3 years.
That seems more in line with like we need to capitalize here. All right, I think we've waited 38 years. Do you think it's cooled off? Can we finally come up with another one?
Are we going to do this, or are we going to do another Terminator movie? What do you think, guys?
By the way, 9 to 5 has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
It's funny. It was a good... I mean, I don't know if something aged well in 1981.
$103 million at the box office.
I think I thought The Incredible
Which is
Shrinking
crazy.
Woman was a great movie then, and I'm sure it is not. Although I could sing that
$100
jingle.
million in 1981.
It's a lot of money.
And it was a
huge.
$10 million budgeted
And
movie.
that budget is a huge budget
Oh, yeah.
in
Well,
1981.
eh,
It's a pretty big budget. What do you think the budget for Raiders of the Lost Ark was?
more, but
Yeah,
I
but
remember
not like- I bet it was
Star
under-
Wars was under $10 million because they said they pretty much got anything under $10 million approved. So he turned in a budget of 9.9.
It was 99999.
Right.
Million.
Because they
But
approved
didn't George
anything.
spend some of his
Nine
own money on the
was,
movie?
He spent tons more than
Well, they
$10
went back and
million.
got, they went back and got more money. I think the total production ended up being like 11 or 12. for
But
the original.
the budget
And then he paid for all the
initially
ones after
was $10 million.
Yeah.
It's like Godfather. The first one, the budget was like $10 million, and they micromanaged everything. And then the second time they came and they threw money at him. It was like, wow.
Take this.
So
Right? They were
Here's
like,
some money.
you want some spare horses, or bring in some cars for you?
And
Great.
in case you forgot, if you wanted to see if there's a big demand for 9 to 5, back on April 7th, 2009,
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Yes.
9 to 5 the musical came out on
Bonner
Broadway.
talking about that in that episode.
In previews, April 7th, officially launched April 30th, 2009, and shut down because of low ticket sales and gross in September 6th of 2009. National tour began in
5
September
months? 4 months?
2010.
I don't think we need to reboot. I don't know, but I'm not an executive. Somebody gets paid more than me to figure that out.
To spend someone else's money.
Hey, more power to them.
Right. Same guys who approved Terminator 6.
Well, it could be different execs. You never know.
They're in the same boat.
Speaking of being in the same boats, I don't know what that means. So David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who of course were the showrunners for Game of Thrones, they were pretty much handed a Star Wars trilogy, to do what they wanted to do with it. But however, they also have been given some networks or Netflix deal to do stuff, and they said, no, we can't. They do both of these, so we're dropping Star Wars.
And also, the same nerds who hated them for Game of Thrones are the Star Wars people. So
I just don't understand. We gotta wrap this Game of Thrones up. We got Star Wars. We got HBO. We got to get out of here. We have this deal over here, so we got to end this show real fast, and it might not go great, but we got to be done. No, we're not gonna do Star
doesn't
Wars.
matter. There's not going to be another season anyway. So whatever piece.
They
of
did some interview.
pile
like,
of
basically,
garbage you
like
have.
they did some interview lately about the Game of Thrones and the whole thing, and it almost came off like we didn't know what we were doing. We just started making stuff, and it ended up good. Well, that's
Did you like the last season?
No.
Oh, all
no.
right.
I was talking about it as a totality.
I had hope probably going through the 3rd or 4th episode.
Well, I feel like the more I think about the last season, it was like they took the whole budget. They're like, here's how much money we have. Let's spend it on 2 episodes. And these other episodes, we're just going to really have to piece it together with some...
Even those 2 episodes had a lot of effects in it, but not much story.
No, they were just big battles, which was great television, really interesting. It just didn't really do much. No, the last season I did not like at all. I like it more than I like The Lost.
Oh, Lost.
So there's that.
Ugh. Did you watch all the way through
Yes,
that?
yes.
On network?
Yes.
While it was on?
Well, yes, we caught up and watched the last season live.
Ugh.
It was very disappointing.
Oh, that was the most disappointing television
That's
show
usually
I've ever watched.
that is usually my bar of how bad did it end.
Lost
Where is it
bad.
on a scale of like Lost
1 to Lost, or
yeah, however you wanna
Lost
think
to
of it.
10?
Yeah, I'm not sure which way you want to go with it, but you could. Is Lost your top of the scale terrible?
Oh, Lost is the worst.
It's a terrible ending.
There are some, like I know the Seinfeld last episode was not great in comparison, but it was not terrible. Friends petered off toward the end, but it wasn't
Nothing
unwatchable.
really ends great. You know what I mean? Like most people, when
okay.
shows end, are very disappointed.
I'm watching Modern Family right now. It should have ended last season. It went a season too long.
So I'll let you know how I feel about Breaking Bad. On
The
rewatch.
Office should have ended at when Michael Scott left. No reason to go on after that. I'm trying to think of something else iconic that had that garbage ending. Oh, there's another good one. What was the murderer show?
Murder, She Wrote.
No. What was this? No. The one on Showtime. The one on Showtime. What was
Dexter.
the name of that? Yes. Fourth season was brilliant. The sixth season was pretty good, and everyone gets really upset about the last season.
Yes,
I don't
I've
think it
read
was
that.
terrible. It was fine.
But sometimes when you know it's going to be it, and you've gone too far to some degree, like I feel like people start to really struggle with how do you end it meaningful? How and then you start to do like, well, this is it. We can do whatever we want because it's ending.
Well, I stopped watching Walking Dead. I just gave up on it.
I don't blame you.
And have you watched it still?
Because I'm on the Breaking Bad rewatch. I'm like 3 episodes behind Walking Dead. But I thought to myself, I really wanted to finish this, and this will be here.
I love the way the comic book ended. That was perfect. How they were putting out the false promos for issues they didn't intend to come to, and the last issue hit. It was like, oh, that was it. We're done. That's over. That sort of surprise punch you in the gut. It's over. That was a perfect way to end it.
Well, it was. Yeah, you don't really have things like that very often. That
You can't.
You get surprised by.
You can't.
I didn't. Did you read it?
Yes.
It ended pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a great
No, not
ending.
perfect.
No.
I actually liked. Did you read through the end of it? The initial supposed ending for issue, I think it was 100 or something like that, where they had that Rick with his fist up in the air that changed into a statue.
Yeah.
And then they showed the zombies going afterward again. I was like, that would have been perfect.
I kind of like that ending more.
So did I. I was like, dang, that was the pinnacle of greatness right there.
That's your more real ending.
Oh yeah.
No hope.
Oh
Which is-
yeah. But that was the kind of
kinda how
he
it
built and how he put those things together. But
Yeah.
I love that he had the opportunity to wrap it
To do how he
close
wanted it,
for
yeah.
real and still share that initial thought about ending it.
Yeah, no, I reread it like from issue 90 to the end this summer. And I forgot how good the comic was.
Oh,
How-
it was
it was a
tremendously
really well written
satisfying.
comic. But I knew it was ending, and that's what got me back into it because I had heard
Right.
the whole it's ending, so I got caught up. But it, I mean, for almost 200 issues of telling a story with this beginning, a middle, and end, like it is a chronological story. You know, like Batman, does it really have a beginning? Does it really have an end?
Right.
You know, like they have beginning and ends to all these arcs constantly. Where Walking Dead had one long story.
But segments
With
built
lots of
within it.
little peaks and valleys in the middle, which was really well done. He's way better at writing that comic than the TV show is.
Oh
right now.
gosh, yes. Yeah, the
The TV show got better,
yeah,
but it's not
It's lost. Like there was for a while that I liked the other.
Fear.
Yeah, but I gave up on both of them. I'm done with both of them.
I'm still trudging through.
Fair.
No ending was as good as Newhart, though.
Newhart. Perfection.
What about MASH?
They went home. MASH at the end.
No.
I never saw it. I never watched MASH.
I wasn't a MASH watcher. Everyone's still meh, whatever. Newhart's perfect. Newhart is perfect. There will never be an ending that perfect.
That was. I remember watching that live, and
I didn't.
my mouth dropping open at the time, going, "Oh, they're gonna." And I didn't totally gather that they were going back to the original show there, but yeah, and that. Or what was the really weird one around that same time? Oh, St. Elsewhere.
Oh,
The Snow
terrible ending.
Globe. Everything was a.
Yeah, dream of the
Isn't
girl.
that the show that is supposed to make like 300 TV shows interconnected to each
Yes.
other? It's like we talked about that before. This web of like it goes into like the Terminator movies. Like somehow Terminator is connected to St. Elsewhere. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's.
I'll have to find that link and send it to you guys. That article is crazy.
Send it. We got off track on that.
Oh, sorry. No,
No,
that was
right,
good.
right on
To
track.
St. Elsewhere.
Yeah. In television finales of 30 years ago, let's rank them.
By the way, Ryan Johnson still in talks to make new movies with Star Wars.
Is he the one who did Last Jedi before he got removed or whatever? Did he finish it? Did he start it?
I'm not smart enough to follow that stuff.
No, he did. Last Jedi, he did the whole thing. It's just the backlash to it.
Okay.
He was originally going to before Last Jedi came out.
He was gonna do more.
Lucasfilm saw it and they were like, "This is the greatest Star Wars movie ever. You can do a trilogy of movies after."
And then people
they
saw
were
it.
They were handing out trilogies left and right to everybody.
And they saw it, and like people went to the theater and go.
And then it sounded like it was completely on hold. And then now he's saying
Who did Solo before they got removed from Solo?
Oh shoot.
that was Lord Miller original. Or I'm sorry, that was Lord Miller.
I don't know. I just know it was
And
Ron Howard.
they went back and made like 53% of it,
and
so
then Ron
Howard could be in charge, right?
Yeah.
But they knew what they were.
I like Solo. It's
Yes.
not terrible.
I like Solo.
It's not as good as
I
Rogue
think
One.
I think I like Solo more than I like Last Jedi.
I don't think I'd go that far. I think I like Last Jedi better. I think there were higher highs in Last Jedi.
My whole thing is, you're hiring. I think we talked about this many times, but you're hiring Phil Lord and Chris Miller to do their type of movie, and then you get upset because it's not a Star Warsy movie. I don't. You hired them because you wanted them. I don't know.
Well, it's like putting Harrison Ford in a film. You're always going to get that character. Like I watch from anything he's done, it's the same guy. Like watching Witness, I'm like, oh, there's Han Solo showing up at this.
There's
Right.
What's his name for The Fugitive?
Right? No, it's Han Solo. There's always the same guy. It's not like Mark Hamill's a wonderful example. I thought he was always the same actor because in the movie he always seemed like the same dude, and then you listen to him do the voice acting, and it's a completely different guy. But some actors are like that. Some directors are like that.
They should have just done a Lego Star Wars.
Those Lego movies seem to like they have kind of hit their expiration date.
Real fast too.
Yeah, they made a lot of them, and then there's
Well, the first one was really great, and then the Batman was pretty good, and then the second one was like.
don't forget Ninjago in there too.
I've watched them all. They're kind of funny. It's just the same
It's
movie
like-
over and over again.
Michael Douglas says, same movie over and over again. Ant-Man 3. Oh, sorry. Ant-Man 3 is going to begin filming in January 2021. Apparently, he's making the announcements now.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I like Ant-Man.
So did I. I like the first one better than Ant-Man and Wasp. I did not expect that.
I haven't seen him in.
I thought
recently
Paul
enough.
Rudd was way funnier in Ant-Man than he was in Ant-Man and Wasp. And I liked that. Who else was in it? Was it Black Goliath in that? With what is his name? Oh shoot!
I don't know.
African American actor from The Matrix.
Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne was in it, right?
I
He was
don't
Black
remember.
Goliath in it. I liked that, but I just didn't like the
remember.
film as a whole. I thought it was worse.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
I will see it.
Do you think there is going to be a connection between the X-Men universe and Avengers
At
universe
some point
there?
they'll cross it over, but it's going to take a while.
It'll be a mega universe.
They need to slow build
It
it.
already is.
Oh,
Already is.
True.
They don't need to rush it. They just don't need to drop it in.
I keep thinking about 2008. Was that the first Iron Man film?
I believe
that's right.
so.
11 years we've gone from nothing to this huge interconnected universe, and the X-Men
2008.
went from what was big at that time to, forgotten death and nothingness this year with Dark Phoenix. And I did not hate Dark Phoenix. I thought it was okay.
yeah.
But, I put it on the same level as Ant-Man and Wasp.
We have 5
You
minutes.
okay?
We have 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So, speaking of time left, so The Irishman, this is another great story title. Netflix short theatrical run labeled a disgrace. So, The Irishman, of course, Martin Scorsese's newest film, De Niro, Pacino, it's 3.5 hour typical Scorsese epic. Is produced by Netflix, coming to Netflix, but they gave it a 28-day run in theaters, and now people are all upset about this. As opposed to, normally it's in for 50-some days or whatever. But this, I assume, we've been seeing this is the signals of what's going to be happening in the movie industry, and people just kind of, I guess, have to get used to it. But Netflix has not made a lot of friends. You have people like Steven Spielberg that say Netflix movies shouldn't be up for Oscars, when Roma was up, that sort of thing. Do you have any concerns about big movies not being released in the theater?
You have a dying guard protecting what used to be. Relax, get over it.
And it's funny because it's
You'll
Scorsese
be
himself
dead.
who
Right.
you typically would think of
Right.
as
And he
part of the
is.
old guard.
Who was the director that said Marvel movies aren't cinema?
It might have been Scorsese. who
Was
said
it him?
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an unrelated topic.
Yeah.
That has
And then
nothing to do
Coppola
with
said that they were despicable.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with this particular problem. But
No, it's-
put it in the theater for 20 days. Put it in the theater for 28
Right.
days.
And if people like it the best, it's going to win.
Well,
if it's
half
the
the
best,
time,
people are going to vote.
Some of those movies that are up for Academy Awards and Oscars don't even get to like a theater in Pittsburgh. Like they're on some short run, and it's so great.
Or
It
the
gets this
ones
buzz.
that win stink.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different. Quality is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? Like,
And at that moment in time, 5 years later, we look back and I go, oh, what were we thinking? That movie was a turd. 10 years later, we look back and think, these are the worst Academy Award winners of all time. Like, the greatest cinematic masterpiece didn't win. Alfred Hitchcock never won Best Director. I mean, the list goes on and on. At that moment, at that time, I mean, it's an award ceremony with people with money patting each other on the back. Big deal.
Speaking of big deal, did you see this tweet? Dun, 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 dun.
I did.
it doesn't do anything.
That's just an animation.
Yeah, it's just like this.
But it
Everyone's
announces
all
the
excited.
date.
I was like,
It announces the date, April 8th, 2022.
Yes.
that's far away.
This is
I don't
going to be the
Well, can't you get it?
Spider-Man
can't you
Into
get
the
a little sooner,
Spider-Verse
guys?
sequel.
Nope.
Why not?
Got to start writing a script now.
Shouldn't they have already done that?
They should have. But
Didn't
they
we
didn't.
know that? Didn't we know this was coming for like the better part
I would
of 6 months?
expect so, but now you got to put some. Animation's not happen fast. Animation's like a twice as long kind of a process.
It's a long time. 2022. I mean,
I know. Oh, speaking of animated films, I saw Toy Story 4. Okay.
it wasn't the emotional
No.
roller coaster.
No.
The
Going
top-
into it, I wanted this huge. Oh, it was fine. It's okay.
I
I
haven't seen
thought
it.
3 was much better. Another one they should have stopped.
Stop.
Stop it at 3.
Could've stopped it.
Done.
They could have stopped at 1 and been fine.
One didn't make that much money, all things considered.
Oh, made a ton of money.
Not compared to the other ones.
Well, no, right.
Not
No,
compared,
no,
to,
not
not compared to
compared to,
four.
but-
But on video and stuff, yeah.
Oh, it's made a ton of money. Don't get me, but in the theater box office, it didn't make $200 million. I don't think.
That's
We figure that happens a lot, though. All these sequels make money based on the
I saw
original.
the numbers. What is the highest grossing non-sequel movies of all time?
no. Highest grossing non-sequel movies. That's an interesting list. What was on that list?
I didn't look at it. too
We'll have to
closely.
check that out next week. We're almost out of time. Dwayne Johnson, by the way, is going to produce and star in UFC fighter biopic Smashing Machine. In case you're wondering what he's up to next. All right, we got a huge weekend. 4 big movies
The
coming out.
Rock is going to be in a movie. Who would have
The
ever
Rock is
seen
going to be in
this
a movie.
Stunning.
Okay, you got Doctor Sleep, which, of course, is the Shining sequel.
Kind of.
Yes.
Sort of. Well, but it's
Same
actually
character.
But then it's actually written by Stephen King himself, right? So that's a big deal.
But I thought technically it wasn't a sequel.
It is the same character.
Okay. And then we got Last Christmas, which we've been seeing a ton of commercials for. It's just the romantic comedy.
Okay.
Or, you know.
Okay.
I'm not going to see either.
Nope.
Go on.
And then you got
Doctor Sleep.
And then you got Midway, which is Roland Emmerich doing the Battle of Midway.
Not going to see that in the theater.
Lots of explosions.
And dun, dun, dun.
And you got Playing with Fire.
John
John
Cena gets
Cena.
paid.
I think of all these movies, the one I would go see more likely is John Cena's movie.
oh my! I would not. You'd have to drag me in.
I assume it's a battle between Doctor Sleep and Last Christmas.
I think Last Christmas has to
horror.
win.
I hope
Romance.
Doctor Sleep, but
It's probably going to be a toss-up. We'll have to check and see. So we'll have to check out next week. We'll also find out what the highest-grossing
Non-sequel movie.
non-sequel movie of all time is in the entire list on next week's edition of Inside Media Weekly, if we make it there. Thanks for joining us.
I have a guess.